Hey everyone, I'm Danny, the Kinky Polyatheist at kinkypolyatheist.com, and I dispel shame around sex, sexuality, relationships, and spirituality. And today I've got a topic, and it's basically ethical versus consensual. And specifically, I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about when people use the phrase ethical non-monogamy versus the phrase consensual non-monogamy. I just want to talk about those two a little bit, compare the difference, and talk about which one I prefer. And this is actually a topic that comes up often. Here in Vegas, we have a poly discussion group, and we get together once a month. And it's a wonderful group, and it's a topic that comes up fairly regularly. So I thought it'd be great to just leave it out there so that people can watch this video in the future. Also, I'm doing my 100 videos in 100 days, and this is part of that whole thing. So please forgive me if my editing is not going to happen. Okay, so ethical non-monogamy versus consensual non-monogamy. Let's talk about non-monogamy real quick. Non-monogamy means you are not committed to one person. A lot of people can visualize this very easily if they just imagine, hey, I'm just dating multiple people right now. I'm dating around, and I'm just not being exclusive. Right? Everyone kind of gets that. There's a point in life where you're single, you're dating around, you're not being exclusive. You may not be messing around with anybody, but that idea of right now, I'm dating multiple people. That's non-monogamy. As soon as you commit to one person, that's monogamy. Also, monogamy is a state of mind. And I'll talk about that in my next video, actually. That's a good topic. So ethical non-monogamy is suggesting that you're participating in non-monogamy, so you're dating multiple people or you're in relationships with multiple people, and you're doing it in an ethical way. That's what that's suggesting. Consensual non-monogamy is saying the same thing. You're going to be dating multiple people or you're in relationships with multiple people, and it's all consensual. Now let's talk about why this is important to discuss, the difference between versus ethical versus consensual. All right, I've got a couple examples here. Is it ethical to slap someone in the face? Is it ethical to let your girlfriend wear your wife's lingerie? Is it ethical to go on a date with your boyfriend and then immediately go on a date with your husband? Right? Like, these are just some simple thoughts here, and I'm asking you, is it ethical? And what gets uncovered very quickly is that ethical is up for debate. Everyone has a different opinion of what ethical is. And because it's such a gray area term, it could lead to huge disagreements and misunderstandings. Okay? Let me compare that to consensual. So here's those examples again. Is it consensual to slap someone in the face? Well, that's a yes or no question. Is that person asking you to slap them in the face? It could actually be consensual. Hey, we're joking around. I want you to slap me in the face because it would be funny, right? Like, you can slap someone in the face in a consensual way. I'm not recommending it unless you're into it. But suddenly it's a yes or no question. It's very black or white, no gray area in that. Do we consent? Do you consent? Do I consent? Does the person being slapped consent? Does the person doing the slap consent? That's very clear. How about, is it consensual to let your girlfriend wear your wife's lingerie? Again, that comes to yes or no. Does the girlfriend consent? Yes or no. Does the wife consent? Yes or no. No gray area there. Is it consensual to go on a date with your boyfriend and then immediately after that go on a date with your husband? Again, black and white. Does everyone consent? So that's why I have seen this topic come up multiple times, and I'm also agreeing on the side of don't use the phrase ethical non-monogamy. It's a beautiful phrase, but it leads to so much gray area that it's more trouble than it's worth. Consensual non-monogamy is what I recommend sticking to, because that means everyone involved agrees. And that's the only way non-monogamy is going to work, is if everyone agrees. And if people don't agree, then you better talk about it and set new boundaries and new agreements. So ethical non-monogamy versus consensual non-monogamy, there's the difference. And to back that all up, people call poly or polyamory one of these two phrases. And I'm going to, in the future, call my version of polyamory is always going to be consensual non-monogamy. Cool. Thanks for listening. Hope that cleared things up for you guys. How about you? Do you go with consensual or do you go with ethical? What works for you? And how do you keep it ethical if it's not consensual? How about that? Drop something in the comments. Thanks, guys.